Are you using marketing automations in your business? When we started implementing these marketing automations in our business, it changed everything. In this episode, I am breaking down these marketing automations, what you should automate, and my killer marketing automations that you can use in your business. Hello and welcome back to the Grind and Grow Marketing Show. I'm your host, Brad Ball, and today we are talking about marketing automations. So what is a marketing automation? Basically, it is just automating marketing messages. So why would you bother even wasting your time doing this? Well, number one, it's going to help save you time so you don't have to manually do this yourself. Also, it creates consistency so you know it's going to happen every time something gets triggered. And then also it allows you to plan out a strategy for it to be executed. So now you can actually think through and see a bigger picture of how it's all going to happen. But what should you automate? Well, one thing you can automate that's very simple is your social media post. That is just to make your life a little easier. So in marketing, you can use these tools like Buffer or there's a bazillion of them, and you can upload your post and it'll automatically post it. So I think most people know about that one. The other thing to look at is repeatable tasks. So what happens, like maybe in your onboarding or offboarding or in your leads or sales or any of these processes, looking at those, what can you do or what are you doing that could be done automatically just by using some tools out there? That would be really the next thing to look at. And the other thing is just high-level communications. So, if you have, like obviously e-commerce, there's a lot of communications that go back and forth. So these types of communications. And then thinking of your email and your text messaging marketing messages, right? So if we're thinking of email and text messaging, so it would be things like a nurture sequence or someone is, trying to, if they message you or text you, having an automated response back to that, right? So these automated messages. And of course, if you're running an e-commerce store, it would be like e-commerce communications. So really, what you would automate is really all of these marketing automations that just take it off of your hand. The trick is you want to still keep it human. You don't want to come off as a robot or that it is automated. Now, sometimes it is, and people would expect it to be. However, your goal is to make it to where it is not robotic, right? You want to add personality and life and make it come from you, which is actually not too hard to do. A lot of times in our marketing messages, people don't realize this is actually not me that's communicating back. And, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay, so here's some examples of automations and a lot of what we use in our business. So one of the top ones is your lead magnet to an email nurture sequence. So a great way to build your email list. And if you're not sold on building your email list, honestly, your buyers, your customers are in your email list. So it is gold. If you haven't started doing an email list, this is what you need to start doing. But to get people on your email list, you need to give them some sort of value. So typically we do that through some sort of a lead magnet. Now, this could be a downloadable PDF or something to that extent, like a checklist or a guide of some type. Right? And we do have podcasts that are just specifically on how to create the perfect lead magnet. So we're not getting into that. Another thing to think about when it comes to lead magnets, it doesn't have to be a PDF downloadable guide. It could be an online form that they fill out. Maybe it's something like, they fill out a form and they get some feedback, like a quiz or something like that online. So that could be the other way that you gather their email address. And now you would automate a chain of emails that go out. One, sending them their free thing. The other is to, explain who you are and, what you do and why they should care and testimonials and driving them to your main call to action. So then the next thing would be a contact form to an email sequence. So if someone contacts you, you can have an automated reply that goes out to them, prompting them to take another action. We actually do this. When someone contacts us on our contact page, we wait a couple minutes and send out a follow-up email to say, hey, this is a perfect time to actually get on my calendar. Here's a link to my Calendly. And I would say, I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers lately, but at one point that was like a 70 to 80% conversion on that. So that's a great one. Another one that we use is our leads to Slack channel. So what that means is when someone is a lead, they come in, we get an email. I also get a Slack message. So there is, that extra notification for me, just in case something happens with emails, because emails are never 100%. We also automate pop-up messages on our website. So let's say you've taken some action. Let's say you've downloaded one of our free lead magnets and you come back to the website, then you will get a personalized pop-up that talks to you and asks you how that download is going, or if that was valuable. That's personalized with your name. So that is creating that. Another thing that we are doing is with Slack is when a lead fills out a form and then at some point later comes and visits the website, we get a Slack notification. So we can take action if it makes sense. So that is another helpful tool that you can use. Another automation we're doing is an Asana task created when someone emails our support inbox. So, for example, if someone emails us at support@Liquis Digital, then we basically have it set up to where it will automatically create a task in Asana, which is our project management software, and we can, it goes right in there as a task and it has all of their information. So, if you're an e-commerce business, then a great example are like abandoned carts, refill reminders, nudging people for a second order, a welcome email. I mean, these things you should be doing if you have an e-commerce store. And then one last one to really wrap it up, this is one of my favorites, is one that we use, ManyChat, M-A-N-Y, chat, ManyChat, and basically you can create these journeys. So when someone takes an action and it triggers this journey, it'll prompt this, chatbot message, and they can chat and based off of their, conversation, whatever. The cool thing is you can actually initiate this with someone DMing you a specific keyword or keyword phrase. And when they do that, then it'll automatically initiate this automation and pop up and send them to this, automation, this messenger. So that's a really cool one, a great one for marketing and sales. Okay, so that wraps up our marketing automations that will scale your business. My name is Brad Ball, and we'll see you in the next episode.